kind of go through Outlast bit by bit, chapter by chapter, for those of you who are like me, who is looking for something like this when I was playing. I'm not going to be giving away scare spoilers or things like that. I'm also not really going to be trying to get any extra things like trophies or things like that. It's just me basically going through this and showing those of you who like walkthroughs kind of what to do if you get stuck, if you're not a person who likes to read walkthroughs and would rather just watch them, kind of like me when I was terrified of this game. So here it goes, and enjoy.
Department of Agriculture Commissioner Salazar said changing weather patterns was blamed for livestock behavior. Encourage ranchers and breeders to attend this weekend seminar on Beulah Avenue in Pueblo. And if you're out late tonight, you may see some low-flying helicopters near Silver.
This bit was a little bit good for me because I grew up in Colorado and I live in Colorado, so hearing these things is kind of funny. And then come to find out that there is such thing as Mount Massive, which being a Colorado native I should know, but I don't. And the only reason I do know that is because I have a stake seating that says Mount Massive stake seating on it. So it is a real place. Well, Mount Massive is not the island, but just kind of a disclaimer there. Fun fact. Another thing that I'm going to do too is I'm going to kind of blow through these just because when you play, you can read them for yourself. I'm not going to waste time because I have been, I've played this game now numerous times and I pretty much know what they all say, so. This made me laugh, seeing as it's supposed to be in 2013. You'd think you'd have a little bit more of a high-tech camera, but that's just me. Alright. Another thing as well is I'm not super keen on where all the batteries are. Just because I don't really want to waste time finding them all. So if you guys want more batteries or need more batteries than the ones that I'm finding for you, then you might want to look that up separately. Just because, unfortunately, I played this more than once and I know when I'm going to need them and when I'm not going to need them. So there's that. And it's funny because I swore there was one in here, but I don't think so because there was some in the Jeep, so duh. Another thing that I am learning with this game is that if you miss something and you don't have your camera out, then it's not going to document it for you. I was watching a walkthrough from Julian Solomita. Actually, it wasn't really a walkthrough, I was just watching his podcast where he was playing games on his Twitch channel, and I noticed that when he walked through here, he went to the right and didn't notice the window in the bottom left. It lights up and somebody walks across the window, and if you catch it on video, I believe that it gives you a document. It could just be when you get that far in the game the document shows up anyway, but it's just kind of a fun little thing to catch on video since you're, a reporter and need as much as you can, so there's that. Ooh. Yeah, so there was no specific writing for that one, but it is, for future reference, smart to have your video camera out, because sometimes the notes will depend on whether or not you catch it on camera. Battery number 1. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of ignore those because you guys can read them when you get here. Ooh. Another thing, I have played through both this and Whistleblower, which is supposed to be the second one. And so you'll notice that every time I go into a room, I try to shut the door, just because if someone is pursuing you, somebody's chasing you, it's easier to have them have to fight through the door, because apparently these people don't know how to use a doorknob, so they just have to bust the doors down. So it's easier for you to run and hide when you shut doors behind you. Just kind of a small tip there. Hold on to that. What am I stuck on? Oh, okay. Never happened to me before.
They killed us. You caught us. The fairies. You can't fight them. You have to hide. Can unlock the main doors for security and control. You have to get the fuck out of this terrible place.
Alrighty. Okay. Chris Walker. Great guy. I don't know if there's a battery in here or not. Another thing that I try to do is, no matter how scary it is, how scared you are, go through every door, look at all these things, because you will miss pieces of information, the confidential files, you will miss batteries. So I try to go absolutely everywhere before taking the obvious route somewhere. So, like, for example, game wants me to go that way. I'll look everywhere else before I do. Alrighty.
Little fish. And who are you then? I see. Merciful God, you have sent me an apostle. Guard your life, son. You have a calling.
is that guy over there. When I first played this game, I sat at this door and zoomed in on that guy for probably 30 minutes, getting the guts up to go back there. Also, one of my favorite things to do is it doesn't actually you don't really think about it when you're running by and doing things, but this is like my favorite thing to do. Makes me laugh every single time. Ooh. Oh, I even knew he was coming and it scared me. Jeez-o. Battery? See, that's what I kind of meant. Like, if I would have never pulled my camera up, that would have never been documented. And it shows you that by obviously showing the blinking camera in the bottom right-hand corner. So there's that. Alrighty. Well, of course it does.
Why should we have to pay for it? Why do we have to die? Walker will kill us just for being sick. We're some people. We didn't choose this.
So there's one of those things that if you don't always check the handles, there's always sometimes there's hidden dialogue in there. Alright, down to the nitty gritty here. Yeah. Ah, you actually don't attack me. That would have been nice to know when I first played this game. Alright, key card. I don't know if it was just me, but I had a really hard time when I first played this game to try to find it. Yeah, we gotta go under this here door. That's important. Key card. just noticed I've never gotten out of the locker and actually looked where he goes, but he went into the room where the people were sick and scared that they were going to be killed by him. So thought I might check that out. Alright, downstairs.
Who's there?
Alright. So, basically, 2 gas pumps and the main breaker to get these back working. Another thing, too, that I did not know when I first started playing this game, because they don't really disclose it to you, was that the people that come after you cannot see very well in the dark. So if there's no place like this for you to hide under and wait, for example, normally, or before when I've played, I have turned this breaker on, and then I've just hidden in this back corner, crouched, and there was no problem. Now, you do have to be careful if you hide right here, then, obviously you're in that little oracle of light and they're going to see you. So that's something. Alright. I'm just going to get this done quickly. Is that the best way? Another thing about these guys is that, like I did earlier when I followed Chris out of the security room door and I watched him go into A125, these guys look behind them. And I only say that because I was actually doing this right here, and as you can see him creeping right there, I got out of the locker and I tried to follow him out, thinking, oh, if I follow him out, at least I know where he is and I won't have to worry about him jumping out and scaring me. And yeah, they turn around and they are very good hearers. So if I were to get out of this locker right now and he would be right outside of the door, if I started walking behind him, he would hear me and he would turn around. There also is no pattern. I spent probably 30 minutes the first time I played this game in this locker trying to time when he would be back, so then I could sneak out and get to the other pump in that amount of time. And there's no rhyme or reason. Clearly, see, he's right there again, which actually is posing to be a problem for me, because as I'm talking to you, I don't really know how I'm going to get past him without him seeing me at this point. But just so that you know, there is no rhyme or reason to their hecticness. They're just kind of all over the place, especially if they hear you, they will turn around and they will go back into the room you just were in. So just kind of a heads up on that one. So now, before I entered this room, I looked over to the left and there was a closed door. That is the door that this gentleman has come out of, and that's the door that I'm heading for now. And we'll just go from here. I just don't know where he is, but okay, let's turn on that one. Oh, that didn't work out as planned. Oh God. Ooh, Ricky. Oh, he's gonna look in here. I'm screwed. Oh, he looked in the other one! When I totally thought he found me when I came in here. Okay. So, also, kind of another thing that I noticed. I'm currently out of a battery, which is totally cool. I'm not really too worried about it. The night vision still works when you're out of a battery. There have been times where I have accidentally pressed the triangle button because I am working on a PS4 at the moment, and I've switched a brand new battery out for a complete new one. And so there are times that I have run out of batteries, and I have learned night vision still works. It just doesn't have the distance. You can't see really past what is in front of your face. So once I reload, you can really see past into the distance here. Alrighty, so, and unfortunately from here you can't see him enter or leave the room. But when I ran in here, I'm trying to remember, because if you aren't in such a hurry like me, when you come through that first door originally, you'll make a right. On the left, there's a door in a room, a place to hide, really. I mean, there's no like locker or anything in there, I don't believe. It's kind of pointless. I don't know if there's a confidential file in there or not. But when you first come in the door that I ran in through when he was chasing me, if you turn left, it's pointless. So make a right, and then make a second right, I believe, and you will end up at the crossroads where I was now, and in this room. I mean, don't quote me on that. I will, when I walk back out, I will try to guide you through here, because that's another thing about this game is I got stuck trying to figure out where these rooms are, and them chasing me, and lots of anger and rage quitting because they just kept killing me. So there's that too. So like over here, the chance of him seeing me is little to none. And I'm only going to hang out here until I know that he's gone. Actually, it might be pointless because... And if he wouldn't have been chasing me, I would have shut that door, because then at least I would know when he's approaching. It's because he'd bang on it and knock it down. But once I pull that lever, wherever he is, he's going to turn around and come back this direction. And I believe there are batteries on that cart. Through here, there's quite a bit of batteries. If you go in those extra rooms, like I was telling you about, there are sometimes benefits to doing that, but I don't remember if there's any batteries in here. They're either up on that shelf here or over on that cart somewhere. I don't remember. But the bonus about this room is once you get here and you pull that lever wherever he is, because he goes back into the two rooms with the pumps. I mean, it's quite the walk, and they are kind of slow, so it's time to recoup and hang out. If you're like me when I first played this game and I was absolutely terrified. I'm trying not to point out scares in this game because I don't want to ruin that for people. I just want to kind of show you how the game works. Okay, those batteries definitely aren't on that shelf. They're over there somewhere, I think. Yeah, I'll just pull this real quick. But the only part of this game that scares me is parts like this, where I don't know where they are, and I don't want to turn a corner and run into one of them. Because that's the scary part for me. It's not necessarily the jump scares or that I'm terrified that they're going to find me. But I'm just going to wait here until he comes back. There he is. Checking the lockers. Alright. Ah, it was here. Okay. So, now, oh, he's coming back. Like I said, no rhyme or reason at all. He goes back over towards the lockers. I'm gonna run. I can't believe I got rid of that. I got away with that. Oops. Yeah. So you'll make a. Oh, I don't really want to do that quick match right now. Okay. So don't need this anymore. And we're good to go. So that's the pump situation. Oh, now I go back to the security desk. Okay. Alrighty.
I'm sorry, my son. I didn't want to have to do this to you. But you can't leave. Not yet. There is so much yet for you to witness. Will you see it? Can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Alrighty. So because I'm doing this in chapters and we've now entered the prison block, I want to stop this video and start a new one, just for organization reasons. So, thank you for watching, and that was the first part of Outlast, and I am on to the next one.